So I thought I'd show you guys the latest upgrades and gunsmithing and mods and whatnot I've done to my Smith & Wesson 22A-1 with the 7-inch target barrel. It's my little semi-tactical 22. And I had a red dot on it that I got for 30 bucks off of eBay, and I'll tell you what, the dot was so big and so bright that it was really useless at anything other than point-blank ranges. And this is a much better sight. This is the Bushnell Holo sight. It's kind of like EOTech. It's the same company. This is just the sort of cheaper version, if you can call $400 for optics cheap. Twice the price of a gun like this. Got the Viking Tactical on there. Now I'm going to tell you something now. Go ahead, search YouTube. Look at every Smith & Wesson 22A-1 on YouTube. And I think this is the only one that has a holo sight like this mounted to it. And there's a reason for that. Because there's these weird webs. This is a non-standard weapon rail. It's not like a Picatinny rail. It's actually got a thicker edge than a Picatinny rail. It's got different shaped slots than a Picatinny rail. And it's just a total pain in the ass to mount anything to this gun. It looks like you could mount all kinds of crap to it, and you really can't. So to mod this was actually a considerable amount of work. I had to remove the rear blade. I had to very carefully remove some material on the holo sight. I didn't want to really mess with the rail too much. I did continue the ramping on the rail right in this area right here. I don't know if you can see, but see how that's shiny right in there? Well, this is usually all black. I did that a long time ago, but what I did is I continued the Picatinny shape of the rail all the way out to the end there, and it's squared off on the rail. So you can't mount anything all the way back like this. You can't mount it this far back because the blade sight's all squared up and it doesn't fit that kind of angular profile. And so I had to file that down. And then I had to set up a little grinding tool, and I had to grind away. I don't know if you can even see what I did. I did a pretty neat job, I think. See the slight grinding right there at the web? I had to grind that away. I had to do the same thing to the Viking Tactical weapon light mount. You can see there's a web there too. I had to grind away to allow for that. You don't want to grind the whole thing away, just till it hits it. So I had to grind both sides of that. This side was a little bit messier. As you can see, it's not as beautiful. But it does the job. And as you can see, the light works good. And I've got this thing sighted in now, so I can hit stuff at about 75 yards, no problem. What I like about this is, as you can see, there's variable brightnesses to this. You can make it very dim, or you can make it very bright. And that's just absolutely critical for low light shooting. If you have a very bright red dot, you're not going to hit anything. Even if the light's on it, you're really not going to hit anything. And this has got a momentary on or a full on, and it's got a high and a low setting. So this will be real handy for handling any kind of pests that show up at night around my property. And it's also just fun to use. I've been doing a lot of shooting today, getting it sighted in and whatnot. I'm testing it and everything and making sure that everything is really on there really good. Because the last thing you want is for your sight to fall off, or your light to fall off, So my gunsmithing worked out okay. There you have it. Yeah, no chamber check. Gun is loaded, which is how I keep it. Not a round in the chamber, but I do keep it loaded. Good way to see the chamber check, and just crack it open. See, there's nothing in the chamber. But there you have it. Little Tactical 22, Smith & Wesson 22A-1. Some mods to it. Shined up the barrel. Mounted some stuff to it. Changed the rail a little bit. Pretty much looks stock, It's a good shooting gun. Got about 3,000 rounds in it now, and it's still holding up good.